I told my girlfriend to be quiet in a museum because she's being too loud.
Girlfriends tend to do that.
I, 25 male, was invited to go on vacation for a week with my girlfriend, 22 female, and her family, father, mother, brother, and his fiance. I don't know exactly what her dad's issues are, but he's obviously gotten some sort of intellectual disability. By the way, this comes from technical message 8716, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all of the answers. We're just gonna guess what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, during our vacation, we've stopped at a few museums and historical sites. Every single time my girlfriend wants her dad to walk in with us. At first I was fine with it, but then I realized that he can't read. At every stop, my girlfriend is narrating everything for her dad. He's half deaf too, so she's either leaned right in close to him or speaking loudly so he can hear. Not only can he not read or hear, he hardly understands what is being read to him, so my girlfriend has to repeat half of it in simpler terms for him to get. I'm a fast reader, so I'll be ahead of them, but hearing my girlfriend yell out what I just read 3 minutes ago, followed by her dad saying, "What's that mean?" and her spending another 10 minutes explaining what she literally just read and him still not getting it. This is why museums with narrated tours give them through headsets. I'm sure it disrupts other visitors as well, which is why when we stopped today, I asked her not to narrate everything. She said that she had to for her dad. I suggested that he'd get just as much out of looking at the artifacts and pictures since he doesn't understand half of what's going on anyway. Then she says, "That's not true. He loves learning. He especially enjoys historical facts." Like, come on now. He has to be constantly reminded if a museum is interactive or not because he will try to touch anything and everything. That's his mental functioning level. I told her it's disrespectful and kind of obnoxious to the other visitors for her to be talking out loud constantly while people are trying to absorb what they're reading. After a bit of back and forth, she told me that I could walk way ahead of them so I don't get distracted, but she was going to read to her dad. Then at lunch, I thought she was past it since everyone seemed to be in a good mood, but when we sat down to eat, she made a jab that no one should talk so I don't get too distracted while I eat. She's still pissed, obviously, and now so am I. That felt totally out of line. Am I the a-hole? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're
totally
very
are.
much the a-hole. I don't think anyone enjoying a museum is going to be upset that someone who may not be at the same intellectual, ability as them
Yeah.
needs to hear something a few times more.
Yeah, I think, like, I can understand if people are like, oh, why is this person, like, saying this so loud? That's a little weird. But then they turn around and they learn what's happening because it's obvious and then they're forgiving about it. Then it's fine. Because, like, you're really this is just ableist at this point. You're just straight up, like, not accepting someone's disabilities because you're embarrassed to be around them. Like, listen to how that sounds. Please.
You're the a-hole.
Totally. There are some relevant comments. Allergy Mom says, "You're the a-hole. Ableist much?" What would have been a reasonable question to ask is, hey, the museum offers headsets and audio accessible aids. Would that help all of us enjoy the museum together? Parents age. Parents need support when enjoying family time. It's cool and all that you enjoy your speed reading and rushing along, but this was a family vacation for her family. And you treated her father like an inconvenience on their family trip that you were invited to join? Anyone of any ability deserves to enjoy learning and exploring museums at their own pace. Most museums have special aids to support people with different abilities. Most museums aren't silent as the tomb nowadays. Art museums still have that feel, but most history and other museums are much more interactive and inclusive. I doubt your relationship will survive how callously you treated her father. OP says, "I never said this in front of her dad, obviously. I said it in a private conversation with her, letting her know that it may be seen as disruptive and she should be respectful of everyone. Then she brought it to the attention of her family with that jab at lunch. By the way, I really struggle with distractions when reading due to ADHD. I didn't say this to her, but technically her accommodating her dad the way she was does the opposite for me, who also has a disability. And that could be the same for others." A deleted commenter says, "Do you think insulting her dad was respectful?" OP says, "How did I insult him? I never said anything to him about it, and it's not like I said he was an idiot. I just suggested that since he doesn't understand it would be better to just let him enjoy looking so it doesn't disrupt the whole museum." Impossible Reason 2204 says, Being ableist only in front of your girlfriend and not her dad isn't the flex you think it is. Opie says, if that's ableist, how is it not also ableist for her to bring attention to my ADHD struggles with her little jab at lunch? Oh, don't talk while Opie is eating. He might get you distracted. On that same topic, if what I said was so offensive, why bring it up around her family at all? If her dad is to be hurt by it, it's because she brought him into it with that. Maybe she's not the saint everyone here seems to assume. Langstar says, why are you dating her if you don't like her? Opie says, I do like her. I'm just confused at all the comments acting like she was an entirely innocent and passive party in this disagreement. Like, if her dad was hurt by what I said, there's only one person the rest of her family could have heard it from, and it wasn't me. Her jab at dinner makes it more likely that he'd be hurt. If she was being nothing but kind and considerate, why make a comment in front of her family that raises suspicions on something having been said? That's not very kind of her. He's literally saying, well, she's not innocent because she told people. She relayed the message that I said. It is not kind of her to tell other people about the unkind words I said. I was gonna just leave it and say it behind his back, but no.
This dude definitely has a punchable face.
I would have to agree with you. But you can hear more full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. There is more to this story. We've got an update here.
We do. Guys, Angie and I are on a little date.
A little work date.
Yeah, we got donuts and we're hanging out.
We sure are. We can cheers the donuts after this story. How about that?
Angie was sad. She's like, when will we be able to eat the donuts?
I was like, how's this gonna work? But
it's like, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It's okay. We're getting there.
But P, I want to talk to your girlfriend. Opie's girlfriend. Please break up with this guy. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, dude.
You don't get it. Okay. You're an idiot because not only are you trying, you're just not trying to understand the situation whatsoever.
No, not at all.
And you're making this crazy disability Olympic game out of nowhere. And then and you know what else he's doing? He's kind of blaming his girlfriend on this.
He totally is. Because he's like focusing on the fact in the stretch that like she is possibly not innocent in this situation. And like with him saying that in itself is like he said, how are people not seeing how she's not totally innocent in this situation? Which kind of implies that she's not the guilty party, that you are also to blame a little bit, at least. But then you're not taking any accountability for that, and you're only focusing on, like, what you think she did was wrong. Like, I think you are a bad person. I think we have a bad person on our hands. You should take all of this personally. Change yourself, you bad person. We have an update. Everyone can stop commenting now. I get it. I'm the biggest butt of all time. I may as well be the devil for having a private conversation with my girlfriend that she made public, so what's that make her? I admit I could have worded it better. I didn't mean to be offensive. I was trying to find a solution so that everyone could enjoy the museums. But apparently, that's a big effing no-no in a relationship. Thought they were about compromise and working through issues, but obviously not. You all be real effing happy to hear my girlfriend broke up with me, so you can all stop with the I hope she dumps your butt. Congrats, you got your effing wish. Years together down the drain over one incident. One stupid comment. Is that how fragile relationships are now? Are you all happy with that reality? This guy sucks even more.
It was over one comment that had so many layers attached to it.
Yes.
That you will not ever be able to comprehend.
That is really this is kind of a stretch, but it's okay, this is really a stretch. These two things are on very different levels, but it's like the excuse where it's like, well, he hit me once, so now I have to leave him forever. And it's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you made this, and again, the very different levels. But I made this one comment and now all of these years are down the drain. Yes, because that one comment was just that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even just that one comment. It was everything that you were trying to do to back up your opinion.
I want to leave my boyfriend and run away with my affair partner.
Well, I think you should leave your boyfriend because you cheated on him.
Now, before anyone says it, yes, I already know I'm a terrible person for what I did. And I'm not here to justify anything. Just to get some advice. I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, Scully, not his real name, 34 male, for a little over 3 years. We met through mutual friends and spent 3 straight days together smoking, drinking, and just talking. By the way, this comes from Full Highway 14. And if you want to spin your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
We're here to just give good advice goofily. You're here to comment what you know down below. We'll love to read them. OP says, on the 3rd day, he asked if I wanted to have spicy sleep. And I was at a point in my life where I genuinely did not care or give any Fs. So I agreed. I will never forget him saying that if I got preggers, he would be there, which I thought was cute when I was younger, but now it gives me the ick. Over the course of our relationship, I will admit that I have not been faithful. I've been having spicy sleep with my affair partner, 26, for about 5 years. And at the beginning, I did try to turn that into a relationship. At the time, it did feel like he didn't really want one, so I kept it strictly spicy related. Bringing it back to my relationship with Scully, I did not feel a strong attraction to him at first, but I loved the way he treated me. We went on dates every Wednesday, and he was always there when I was in trouble, which made me genuinely enjoy his company. Eventually, I started developing real feelings for him, so I reduced to how often I saw my affair partner. Not long after, felt like Scully suddenly did not want to have spicy sleep with me anymore. We used to have spicy sleep every time we saw each other, essentially daily. And while I know that's not realistic long term, 3 times a week in my early mid-20s does not feel unreasonable. Every time I asked, I was met with later or not up for it. I assumed something might be going on with his health and gently asked if he was dealing with ED since he's older than me, but he refused to talk about it. Because of how my autism/ADHD brain works, I came up with what felt like a simple solution at the time. I would keep my home life stable and my spicy sleep life fulfilled, even if that meant getting those needs met elsewhere. If I tried to break down every issue Scully and I have had, this post would be endless, so I will list the main ones. When I was a live-in girlfriend and did not work for over a year, even though I handled everything related to the house, he refused to communicate our financial situation to me. He would completely shut down anytime he felt questioned or thought we were arguing. I also caught him talking to other women and offered to send them money while I was donating plasma just to feed us both.
What? That was like very informational, but also vague at the same time.
Send them money?
And like other women money.
Or him money?
Other women. So the boyfriend would send other women money even though OP was donating plasma to get money because they were broke, I guess. This is weird. It's just a weird situation.
Yes, I donated plasma for 2 years during our relationship. Heavy drinking runs in his family, and when he gets stressed, he drinks to the point of peeing the carpet and all over the bathroom. This behavior led to him getting a DUI while we were together, which was his 2nd time going to jail during our relationship. I didn't even know about the first time because a family member told him not to tell me, thinking I would leave him if I knew. As unbelievable as it sounds, that is exactly what happened. Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago when rent was due. Since we moved into my new place in July, he had been able to pay rent without issues because he works full-time, making $18.25 an hour, while I started working in September, making $17 an hour for 26 hours a week. Ever since I got this job, he suddenly could not pay rent on time. I tried not to blame him entirely because people at his job were actively trying to get him fired. But once he was back working full weeks, I could not understand how he still had nothing for rent. I ended up having to make a payment plan with my landlord because I have been homeless before and refused to take that risk again. I had school money from college that I wanted to use to buy things for myself and update the house. Because of our history, I chose to set that money aside and make sure rent was covered. He told me he did not have the full amount he owed, which was $900. And I said I would cover the rest since the total rent was $1950 and he could pay me back. He then admitted he only had $200.
He's trying to bargain how much you're willing to cover. He's like, oh, well, since you're willing to pay, I actually only have $200. That's crazy.
When I asked where the rest went, he said he spent it on random things and could not even explain what those things were. After that, I completely felt disrespected and decided to break up with him, even though we still lived together. He is taking it very hard and continues to act like we are still a couple, despite knowing we are not. I want to move out because I am mentally checked out, but the day after the breakup, he reminded me of a warning his dad gave me early on. His dad told me not to leave Scully because he would pass away over this relationship, and I truly wish I were exaggerating. Gang involvement is part of his past, and that fear is very real to me.
Oh, no.
What does this mean?
What?
What does this mean?
That means that his family is in a gang, probably. So it might be dangerous if she leaves him. Because people might try to convince her to stay.
Oh my gosh. I regret not sticking to my original plan of moving out while he was at work, but I could not handle pretending anymore. I could not tolerate someone believing they could treat me however they wanted and still have access to me. By the way, if you want access to us, go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We have a little bit more to this story. You got a lot going on, OP.
Yeah, a lot going on. I wonder if it's possible. If it's possible for you to move out, do that. If it's possible to get him booted out and evicted from your apartment because he can't pay rent,
Yeah.
possibly do that. If I would prefer you moving so that he doesn't know like where to find you. But this is crazy. Because it's also weird that one statement before like the gang involvement thing that was like, you have to never leave Scully because I'll pass away. Right? Like that's what it said, that like the dad would pass away.
His dad told me not to leave Scully because he would relationship, and I truly wish I were exaggerating. Gang involvement is part of his past. That fear is very real to me.
So does she think that someone's like
Threatening her or threatening him? I don't know.
like,
I'm kind of confused there.
It seems like
There's a lot of confusing parts of this story.
Seems like the threat is on him, but that would be a weird threat to say like, you better keep your son in that relationship. You better make sure that your son's girlfriend doesn't break up with him or else I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's a little weird.
This is all very weird, and I think it's good that you broke up.
Yeah.
I think you should get out of there as fast as you can.
The breakup has not changed his behavior at all. He is still affectionate, still trying to have spicy sleep, and his touch genuinely disgusts me. Meanwhile, my affair partner and I have developed real feelings for each other in a way that feels organic and mutual. I want to be with my affair partner, but I do not know how to leave without Scully getting hurt or potentially unalived. Why did I stay with someone I clearly did not like that much? I should have left the moment he admitted he approached me because of a bet. I should have left the moment he admitted he approached me because of a bet. I think I grew comfortable with him, and after his father passed away, some things did improve. Still, the financial instability and booze mistreatment were things I cannot ignore anymore. Yeah, you got to get out of there. I don't like how you had someone, you cheated on throughout the relationship.
Yeah.
But for your own safety, you just got to get out of there.
My girlfriend prohibited me from buying a house with the money I religiously saved.
Maybe she's trying to buy you a house.
I, 29 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 25 female, for a little over a year. I don't live with her. She doesn't work because she doesn't want to and relies on her parents. Things are mostly okay, but we're hitting a big disagreement that I can't shake. By the way, this comes from NewBrick1, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comment. And OP says, I've been saving aggressively for a while, and I'm finally in a position where I could buy a small house or townhouse on my own. Down payment is mine, mortgage would be in my name, and I'd be fully responsible for it. When I told my girlfriend, she immediately shut it down.
What?
She says it's a huge life decision that affects both of us, and that I shouldn't do it unless we're married or buying together. She also said it would make her feel like she has no say in our future, and that it puts pressure on her to move in on my terms. From my side, I'm not asking her to pay anything. I'm not forcing her to move in. I see it as a smart financial move and something that I've worked hard for. I don't want to keep renting just because I'm in a relationship that may or may not last forever. I also don't like the idea of delaying my goals, waiting for someday. Now it's turned into arguments where she says I'm being selfish and acting single, and I feel like she's trying to control what I do with my own money. I get that it impacts the relationship, but I don't think that means that I need permission to buy property I can afford.
She's afraid that you're going to ask her to be his wife and you're not ready to settle down yet. I'm getting that vibe.
And that, like, she's not ready to settle down? I guess, yeah. She's probably thinking that, like, because she doesn't have her own money, then she's gonna have to move into wherever he is eventually. And she's like, whoa, 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 I'm not ready for that. It's like, well, good thing it's not happening. Because it's a smart investment to have a house. Then he could sell the house and possibly get something that you both like.
Yeah.
This, like, does not affect the relationship right now. It's crazy. OP says, what do I do? And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, things are mostly okay. I don't make big life decisions with someone who I view in that way. Might be time to move on. It's only been a year. Comment 2 says, yes, if that's the way OP describes the relationship, kind of tells us everything. Get the house. You can always sell it and move into a different home if the relationship goes somewhere. OP3 says, nope. Comment 3 says, good for you for saving for a house. Buy the house. Super weird that she can't be happy for you. OP says, I'm so excited for buying. I've been waiting for this moment. I'm also weirded out by it as well. She seems so mad at me. Comment number 4 says, she wants you to wait until you're married so she can have partial claim or something. That's just my guess. Another response says, mostly like this. I don't know where you live, OP, but in many countries, the standard asset structure for marriages is that you share 50-50 of everything that you acquire during the marriage, but each spouse would keep 100% of what they bought or brought into the marriage, like your house, in case of divorce. Maybe she wants claim to half of your house if you ever get married, then divorced. And there is an update, but that would be crazy if that's her mindset. She's like, I'm already planning getting divorced from you in the future, so I don't want you to have the house. Like, what? That might not be it, but
this is very weird. That could be a play. I'm having a hard time thinking of an assumption or like something that could actually be happening.
Yeah, like an explanation for this.
I don't have one. I just don't think she's ready to settle. That's my only thing.
I think it's very possible. I think she's probably scared for her future and maybe threatened by how successful OP is. And she's like already put herself, since she doesn't want to work, she's like already putting herself in the position of like a stay-at-home mom or something, and thinking like, well, when I am there, like, even though you make the money, like, you're still gonna have to consult with me on these decisions, and you're not showing me that that's what you're gonna do. It's like, girl, you're 25 and you're choosing not to have a job because you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's such a red flag. Such a red flag. Because then if you're living off your parents, you're gonna expect to live off of me. But we have an update here. I spent a long time reading through the responses and honestly just got overwhelmed. At some point it hit me that this isn't just about a house. This is a much deeper issue than I wanted to admit. I didn't sleep at all last night. I kept replaying everything and realizing how foolish I've been in this relationship. Around the middle of the night, I had a full panic attack and ended up driving to my parents' house. I woke them up and told them everything. They didn't even know most of this was going on. They've always seen me as independent and assumed I had things under control. Clearly, I didn't. I had to admit some hard truths to myself. I don't really have friends. I was naive, depressed, and had low self-esteem. I met the first woman at a local bar who showed me affection, and I clung to that, thinking that that was just how relationships worked. Deep down, the reason I was so unsure about everything is because of her lack of ambition and drive. And I hate to admit this, but I'm also at fault, because I tolerated it. I spent money I shouldn't have. I indirectly encouraged behavior I wasn't okay with. A lot of you basically gave the wake-up call that I needed. I've never really dated before. I kept my head down, got my computer science degree, landed a high-paying job, and just kept grinding. The cost of that was my social skills and emotional awareness. That pain built up quietly, and whenever it surfaced, my go-to solution was calling her over so it would temporarily go away. It's obviously not a long-term solution. And what would be a long-term solution is listening to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and searching OK Storytime. You can have long-term solutions to whatever your problem may be.
Yeah, you can.
But there is more to this story. We sure did.
Glad you're having this kind of reflection.
Yes.
Smart. It's needed.
Yes.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. And I mean, you're definitely not alone in like having your first relationship, accepting bad things for how they are because you think that's just how it's done, and then learning from it. Like the biggest thing is that you're learning from it. That's awesome. So I'm proud of you.
You gotta do the friend method. If you're having, this is how relationships should work. Would you want your friend to go through that? Would you say something if your friend went through that?
Yeah.
Say something to yourself if that's what you're going through.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I did try therapy before, but I didn't feel comfortable with my therapist and I ended up dropping it. After last night, I realized that I need to try again with someone else. I called her in the late morning and asked her to come to my apartment tomorrow. Actually, meeting at a public place like a park might be a better idea. I'll change my plans for an important discussion. I'm going to break up with her tomorrow. I need today to calm down, collect my thoughts, and stop spiraling. I'm still moving forward with buying my house soon. This whole thing hurts, but I feel like I'm finally choosing myself instead of avoiding discomfort. There are some comments. Comment 1 says, OP, I'm so glad for you. It's painful, but necessary. Dating someone who doesn't have the same values and goals, or heck, any goals, will never work. Leave this relationship and then work on your relationship with yourself. Become your own best friend. Make plans, execute goals, hit the gym, and do some wellness stuff. Dating will come. And you'll meet someone fantastic as you learn to treat yourself either way. And you'll meet someone fantastic as you learn to treat yourself better, which is the way or with the love that you've been giving someone ungrateful. And that is the end. Oh, wait, no. One more comment. Comment 2 says that girl's parents have failed and still are failing her. She is an adult now, so she is to blame for her decision. Good decision to move forward and break up with her. Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely using you.
She was. And she was being so weird about everything.
Yeah, very much. Like, the fact that she's just planning to, like, mooch off of you when that hasn't even happened yet. You haven't even asked her to move in. It might not happen. It was kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She was like, I need to be able to make these decisions so that he doesn't break up with me. And then in that, she gave him a reason to break up with her.
You guys got broken up. Yep. I think you did the right choice, OP.
Yeah.
I refuse to let my boyfriend move in with me because he dislikes my dog.
That's pretty important. You gotta like all the roommates.
I, 28 female, live alone with my dog. 12 female, let's call her Nina. She is my baby. I found her and her siblings when they were about 2 weeks old and cared for them for only 2 of them to survive, sadly. But I have to admit, I spoiled her since the beginning because she barely made it. By the way, this comes from Purple Hair 18, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, not real advice. If you guys got any real advice, do us a favor and put it down in the comments. OP says, my boyfriend, 30 Mel, still lives with his mom, which is not abnormal in our culture, but lately they've been fighting a lot because his sister moved back in with her kids, and he doesn't have much space. He has a very good job, so he can realistically move out and be alone, but he's very insistent in wanting to move in with me. We've been only dating for 8 months, and I don't think we are there yet. Also, every time he visits, he complains about something Nina does. He got mad the other night because he wanted to sleep over and wanted me to punt Nina out of the bed, and I refused. I told him before if he doesn't like it, he can literally just break up with me. I'm not changing mine or Nina's life just because he doesn't want to move out alone. Well, on Friday, he got into a big fight with his family because one of his nephews grabbed his Nintendo Switch and damaged it or something, and he came back to my place with all his things packed, pretending to just stay over without telling me and immediately trying to change things around. He said Nina can sleep in the floor, in our room, or in the living room, but he ain't living with a dog who is on the furniture. Wow, he's getting a lot of demands for a guy that ain't got nowhere to go.
Absolutely. I guess, like, at the very least, you gotta sleep on the couch now. Sorry, my dog's sleeping in bed with me.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Just get your own place, guy.
Yeah, all over a broken Switch? Come on.
To make the long story short, I kicked him out and told him he never even asked if he can come over, and Nina lives here. He doesn't. He yelled a lot and got even more mad when I didn't react. He left and has been texting me from a hotel telling me he's losing money because I'm mean and a bad girlfriend. I told him we'll talk again once he gets his own place. I told my friends about it, and some of them were on my side. Others said I was prioritizing a dog over a human. And yes, maybe, but is that wrong? I started doubting myself, but I'm not really willing to make my dog suffer because he can't adopt her or find his own place. So am I the a-hole? Yeah, you're not the a-hole.
No, definitely not. Because I don't really think that would make your dog suffer, like not sleeping in bed with you and sleeping somewhere else, but it's definitely, like, still not cool. I mean, this is how you are choosing to live your life with the dog that you have chosen and taken care of, and he's just, like, coming in here and trying to make all of these demands when he didn't even tell her that he was coming over or ask.
Yeah.
He just showed up and started bossing her around. Like, no, this is how you want to live your life.
Yeah, you gotta get out of there. We're gonna read one comment here or 2 comments here. Comment 5, those friends who think you are overreacting are wrong. They're rather dumb too. And they probably think the same way as your soon-to-be ex about your dog. That idiot you are dating is not a good person. I can promise you he is entitled, controlling, immature piece of crap. He wants to move in with you so you can cook for him, clean after him, do his dishes, wash his clothes, etc., etc. He needs a woman, you, to play mommy to him. I also promise you that he will never, ever help you with anything in the house. Dump that trash. Never, ever betray your dog, especially not over a filthy, worthless piece of garbage like your boyfriend. I was about to say, I feel like he wants to move in with her so she can like take care of him. Because he's living with his mom. His mom and his mom's doing all this stuff for him.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I need a mom now. Please help me.
He's like, oh, nephew, you broke my Switch. God, I was going to play that all day tomorrow and all week because I don't have a job. I don't know if he doesn't have a job, but...
Yeah, he has a very good one.
Oh, okay, well...
But this is
he
weird.
can live on his own then.
He says, honestly, it surprised me he thinks I'll do chores because he knows I won't do it unless I don't have any other options. OP on her dog. Nina, she is as big as a corgi and very round, brownish grayish hair with pointy ears, and she has eyebrows, so she is very expressive, lol. And we have an update 8 days later. To make a very long story short, I broke up with him.
Great job.
Good. You were about to play mommy for the next however long if you did have him come in.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like being a mature person, so I sent him a text back, and then blocked him again. He decided it was a good idea to get wasted and tried to break into my building, and I had the security punt him out. I already removed him from the visitors list, so there's no issue there, and I decided to talk to my boss just in case he tries anything stupid. By the way, if you want to, I don't know, be stupid with us, go to your favorite podcast platform, search for OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or podcast platforms. As for Nina, she's spoiled as ever, even more now. We're preparing for the fireworks on Christmas and New Year's. I have some blankets, earplugs, and her favorite treats just in case. And that's the update. Nothing particularly dramatic, just immature, I guess, lol. I think that's all for now. And yeah, I mean, the fact that he got drunk and tried to come over to your place, what the heck?
Yeah, now he's just dangerous too.
Oh.
You're just giving me more reason to think that we should be broken up.
Yeah, honestly.